Hey y'all, greetings, 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 peace, 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 greetings, greetings, greetings. I am here for just a couple of minutes. I realize I've kind of neglected, this page. So shout out to everybody who is following Tonya Poole Enterprises. Shout out to everybody who's following me on my YouTube page because I will be sharing this live video over on my YouTube page as soon as this is done. Shout out to the Good Ashe page because I will be sharing this video over there when I'm done. But I just wanted to come on really quickly. It's Wednesday. I'm assuming it's Wednesday. So January has been crazy. I can't keep up. But I just wanted to do a quick hump day Wednesday check-in real quick. And I've already pulled a couple of cards for just to give some wisdom and guidance for, what we need to know on this Wednesday, on this hump day. And even if you're watching this after Wednesday, January, I think the 27th today is, then this message is still for you because obviously you needed to hear it. So greetings, love, peace, everything wonderful to you all. So I've already pulled the cards. And so I'm going to go ahead and share those, but real quickly, for those of you who have not gotten my book, The Magic of Self-Love, it is still available on Amazon. I haven't really talked about this recently, but very soon I will be doing a kind of like a brief little training. It might be like 3 weeks, like a 3-week training course, or maybe even 6-week, all about how to use self-love as a magical tool to transform your life for the better. So that will be available very, very soon. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into this hump day reading. Okay, so the first 2 cards, and I've pulled a total of 4 cards from 3 different decks. So the first 2 cards that came up, the first one actually flew out, and it was the Death card. Now, don't get scared. Calm down. Because the Death card sometimes appears, it's not necessarily a literal death, even though it could mean that, but the Death card will appear sometimes when there's an ending to something in our lives, an ending to maybe how we've done things, an ending to a certain habit, an ending to, a certain way of thinking, a thought pattern, what have you. And so the Death card appeared because, perhaps there's some things, some ways, some habits, some whatever that needs to be brought to an end. And the thing about the Death card is that what makes it such a potent card is that when it appears, it's almost like you have to surrender to it. Like, some things that you don't want to let go of. It's like, nah, I can't let go. When Death card appears, it's like, nah, you either need to give up willingly or it will be taken from you. So this is a time, especially on this hump day, middle of the week, to think about, like, what is it that we just habitually doing that we need to release, that we need to willingly let go of. And sometimes we have habits and behaviors and things that we do that is almost just second nature because we've done it so long. It's like we can't picture our life apart from that, apart from doing that. And so there's fear there too, right? And that's why a lot of times people fear death, because it's like, what's after death? What's gonna, what does life look like? What does the afterlife look like, for example, right? But also, what does your life look like when you are no longer doing the thing that is sabotaging you, or doing the thing that is blocking you, or when you let go and let God, whatever, however you want to define that for you. So the Death card, when it appears, it's like, okay, yeah, some changes have to happen. Something is going to change. And it can either be, you can either let go willingly or it will be taken from you, but how easy it is for you to navigate that change, it will depend on how easily you can take your hands off and surrender. Right. And so the second card that came out with that was the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands is a card actually of triumph. It's a card of triumph. It's a card of achievement, of success, right? And so when you let go and let God, when you let go, right, and you surrender what is no longer serving you, then the triumph comes, then the success comes, then it's like, oh, you know, the thing that had been blocking you before is no longer a block, because you're walking in that successful place, right? He's on his white horse. He's like, yeah, I did it, right? But no success. What is it? No, what is the saying? No challenge without no testimony without a test, sort of thing, you know? So here's the test, you know, are you going to let go? And so that you can have your testimony. So the second or the third card that I pulled actually comes from a deck that deals with that really is more focused on what is actually blocking you, or what are you sabotaging yourself with, or, you know, what is the obstacle that you have to overcome. And the card that came out of this deck is a card called Energy. Got a little bunny rabbit on there. But Energy, it reminds me of the tortoise and the hare story, right? You know, where the hare thought I can chill, whatever. I'm just gonna read what the card says. But Energy, it says, do not lose your head because you will lose yourself. Do not lose your head because you will lose yourself. And so what this card says in the book that it came with, do not lose your head because you will lose yourself. The shadow element is showing immense passion but refusing to plan ahead or working on the foundation, fundamentally putting the cart before the horse. The first step in creating a painting is drawing and planning the outlines, the composition, and setting down a base layer. The Energy card suggests you can be rather idealistic and oftentimes harbor a lot of passion for those ideals. However, you jump ahead first into trying to cover all bases before deciding what the bases are. This card is a card of irrationality. It is a card that shows that you may pick up unfounded frustration when your projects, relationships, or the like don't quite pan out the way that they looked in your mind's eye. It is a message to ask you to take time out and plan, recognize the importance of laying the groundwork to have a stable foundation before you build your utopia on top of it, and to refrain from projecting your unwavering image of perfection on a work in progress. It is asking you to acknowledge delays sometimes happen, that sometimes things look different in the physical than they do in the mental, as well as being realistic that things take time. This can manifest in relationships that aren't what you initially projected and imagined they would be, or failed business ventures that lacked a fleshed out business plan. It is asking you to take a moment to be a bit practical and consider all aspects that you can and can't control, and accordingly. So, energy, like managing your energetic reserves, like where, you know, it's the middle of the week right now as I'm doing this. And a lot of times when you're in the middle of the week, it's like you're also in the middle of whatever it was you planned for your life this week, or, you know, or it could be even more metaphorical, like you're in the middle of, you know, what your bigger goals are in life at this time, right? And, you know, if there are things that you are going for without a sound plan, that could also be the thing that is deterring you, that you need to bring depth to. If you want to have success, you got to create a plan for how you're going to utilize your energy. So often people tend to just have an idea and put their energy everywhere, or have an idea for a relationship and just jump all the way in, or, you know, have an idea for a business venture or a job, you know, and whatever it is, right? And it's not to say that those things can't be successful, but they will be successful to the degree that you actually plan for it. And a lot of times people, and this could be you, create a habit that you need to bring depth to of not planning, because planning makes it too realistic. It makes you have to be responsible. You got to really think things through. You just want to kind of just do it, right? But if you actually plan for the success that you want, whether it be in relationships or your job, your business, your health, whatever, if you actually plan for that success, then you can actually be more successful than if you just wing it and then you end up utilizing your energy all over the place and expending yourself all over the place and wasting your energy and your reserves and your money and whatever else. And all of that could have been avoided if you would have just planned. And so the last card that I pulled actually comes from a deck from the magnificent Sunni Patterson. Many of you may know her. She is she's so much more than a poet, but most of you probably know her as a poet. But she's an artist in so many different ways, and just a phenomenal woman. But in her deck, the card that I pulled is, I am truthful about my wants, needs, and desires. I am truthful about my wants, needs, and desires. Again, if you have the habit of not being honest with yourself about what you really want, or what you really need or what you really desire, then it's time to put an end to that. A lot of times we do that because we're fearful of acknowledging and saying out loud what we really want. We're fearful about being truthful about what we really want, need, and desire, because if we do, then what if it doesn't happen? Or, what if people look at me funny if I say this is what I want for my life, or this is what I desire, or putting up healthy boundaries and saying, no, this is what I need, in my life, right? And a lot of times we're afraid to do that because it's so definitive. So if I say I want something, it's like, it's like so definitive. It's so specific, right? And it's reminding me of those SMART goals that, if you're not familiar with the SMART goal format or method, is SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And it's like, if your goals have to fit the SMART format, if they're actually going to happen, right? But if you're in the habit of just, being vague about what you want, being vague about what you need, kind of being vague about what you desire, because you don't want people to look at you a certain way. You don't want people to think about you a certain way. You don't want to be embarrassed if it doesn't happen, or if it doesn't happen in the time frame that you said, then if you can't do that, then you can't be successful. Because successful people, no matter how you define success, there's a lot of ways of being successful, whether that's successful in your business, successful in your relationships, successful as a parent, successful in your health, whatever it is you want to be successful with. In order to be successful, you got to be specific about what that success is for you and what it is that you need, want, and desire, right? So if you have a habit of not being specific about that, then, you need to bring an end to that. You've got to be clear about what you want, what you desire, what you deserve. I have a quote, yes, shameless plug. I have a quote in my book that says, right now, I am the woman, and you can put whatever you want in there, man, whatever, right? But I am right now, I am the woman who deserves to live outwardly the life that I desire and envision inwardly, right? So it's this whole, but you got to be clear about what that vision is that you have for your life, what it is that you desire and deserve, and be unashamed of that. Hold that, walk in it, be fearless in that. That's how you actually achieve it. That's how you become successful in it. That's how you begin, because once you get specific, that's how you can then utilize your energy to, specifically plan where you want to put your energy so that you have the outcomes that you desire for your life. All right. So that is the word of the day, this hump day. This is my word of encouragement. Get specific about what you want. Be clear. And it's okay to want what you want and to desire what you want. You don't have to just be like, well, I want this, but I got to kind of want it like this because this is what everybody want me to want for myself. No, be clear about what you want, who you have to become in order to achieve that, what you have to do and prepare and plan in order to have that. And I speak right now against the spirit of that fear of planning for it, you right? Because it's this, I really feel like some of you, it's this fear of, if I really map it out, that's going to slow me down. I just got to jump all the way in. But you don't have to spend a whole lot of time planning and preparing. You can actually just set aside a day, like this weekend, this Saturday. You can say, okay, that's going to be my day to plan, prepare, really map out what I want, get a clear vision, clear idea of what it is that I want, need, and desire. Map it out. Okay, if I want this, what will this require? Who do I have to become to level up to that level to handle that next level that I say that I want for myself? Be very, very clear about it, and then begin to walk into it and put aside the habit and the behavior of being lackadaisical about it and, just being whatever comes. What's going to come is what you plan and prepare for. And even if it's not exactly what you plan and prepare for, because there is that, that unexpected part, that God factor, that unaccounted for part that can give you more than what you plan and hope for. Then be flexible and open to that, but don't let the fear of, not knowing exactly what's going to happen and how, and not feeling like you're going to limit yourself to keep you from actually planning and preparing for what you need, want, and desire in your life. All right. So that is it for this hump day. I love y'all. I really do. I thank y'all for watching, for still being here, for liking my pages. And until we speak again, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love.